Oh my God, what am I doing? Thank you for joining me on Just Thinking Out Loud. This is the part 2 for the first video that I did on the Black Lives Matter movement. Again, I want to point out that you have to look at what has actually happened and what has resulted from their actions, not what they say they are for. This second video is focusing on what they say their guiding principles are. I would encourage everyone to look up statistics on the things that they talk about and the things that they claim they're for and their methods of getting to those places. So here are some of the things that they talk about. We are committed to making our spaces family friendly and enable parents to fully participate with their children. We are committed to dismantling the patriarchal practice that requires mothers to work double shifts, that require them to mother in private even as they participate in justice work. I'm not sure what they meant by that. I think it's maybe something like breastfeeding. I'm really not sure. I'm going to say this pretty often. I'm not sure what this has to do with Black Lives Matter because this seems pretty general and about people in general. Intergenerational. We are committed to fostering an intergenerational and communal network free from ageism. We believe that all people, regardless of age, shows up with capacity to lead and learn. I'm not sure what this has to do with Black Lives Matter, but I guess that's interesting. I think that is kind of up to people and their own individual choices. Maybe they can make pamphlets again about people and age or whatever. This thing about ageism is actually a completely different topic, and I'd have to do a video on the economy and how that works. But I'm not really sure what this has to do with Black people specifically. Black villages. We are committed to disrupting the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another and especially our children to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. I notice that they put mothers and not fathers. The presence of a father is correlated with a lot of positive outcomes in society. And if you're going to say that fathers are not important and then complain about the results of that playing out in terms of people not succeeding and not doing well economically, then you can't have this be your goal. That's just not how it works. And this is something that happens across all races. I'm going to put some statistics here. Look at those statistics. And these people are actively fighting against that. But they're going to cry and scream racism when Black people don't do as well as other groups. This makes no sense. Father presence is important for emotional development, sexual development, and regulating aggression. So you can pick which one you want, but don't complain when Black people are lagging behind compared to other groups that have two-parent households, value them, foster them, and are doing well. The poverty rate for Black communities is in the single digits when there is a two-parent household, and it is an extremely important factor. But let's just push this aside and talk about mothers and blatantly put the word mothers in your text, but ignore fathers. Loving engagement. We are committed to embodying and practicing justice, liberation, and peace in our engagements with one another. This one's kind of funny. That's why your movement resulted in an irrational fear of the police hunting down Black people, a rise in crime, and more Black lives being lost. That's why you were blocking highways. That's why you disrupted people's lives and speaking events to get your points across. Okay then. Black women. We are committed to building a Black woman affirming space free from sexism, misogyny, and male-centeredness. Well, I'm pretty happy in the space I'm in. I don't feel like I live in a sexist, misogynist, male-centered world, but I'm sure you're going to tell me that I'm crazy if I don't agree with those statements. And just remember the point I made earlier about father presence and how important it is and how these people are actively fighting against that and how they're then going to scream racism. Collective value. We are guided by the fact that all Black lives, regardless of actual or perceived sexual identity, gender expression, economic status, ability, disability, religious beliefs or disbeliefs, immigration status, or location. Wait, what? This doesn't end. This doesn't have a... It's just part of a sentence. What's going on? I don't know what that statement was supposed to be because it's not actually constructed properly, but I am not at all interested in this groupthink based on race. I am not at all interested in it. Transgender affirming. We are committed to embracing and making space for trans brothers and sisters to participate and lead. We are committed to being self-reflexive and doing the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift Black trans folk, especially Black trans women who continue to be disproportionately impacted by trans antagonistic violence. Again, why is your movement called Black Lives Matter? And I actually don't know enough about this, so I'm going to hold back any comments. I don't know if Black trans people are disproportionately targeted in terms of violence. I also don't know what self-reflexive means. Is that a spelling mistake? Globalism. We see ourselves as part of the global Black family. We are aware of the different ways we are impacted or privileged as Black folk who exist in different parts of the world. Jesus Christ. Yes, my child. Somebody kill me. I can't stand people who talk like this. There is no global Black family. Your family are the people who birthed you, your extended relatives, maybe the people in your community, in your neighborhood, if you actually interact with them. If there's a global Black family, then there's just a global family. Because there's more relation to the people who are actually in the same country and within the same community, regardless of their race, than people miles away. Have you traveled to every part of the world where there are Black people and seen whether or not they view you as their sister and brother just because you're Black? Do you understand that there can be greater cultural differences between you two than you and a white person in the United States? Unapologetically Black. We are unapologetically Black in our positioning, in affirming that Black Lives Matter. We need not qualify our position. To love and desire freedom and justice for ourselves is a necessary prerequisite for wanting the same for others. That's true. I do like that last line, to love and desire freedom and justice for ourselves is a necessary prerequisite for wanting the same for others. But when you talk about being unapologetically Black, you're just talking about your version of Black, because Black is just an adjective. It doesn't actually mean something else except for hair. I just want to roll my eyes at this statement. Freedom means stepping away from political movements that results in removing the freedoms of others or limiting their choice in order to help your group, because freedom for other people matters. What does justice mean to you? The process or the outcome? Because as far as I know, it's the process that matters. Restorative justice. We are committed to collectively, lovingly. Every time they put the word lovingly or something about being nice in there, I'm like, you are not nice. Sorry, I interrupted that. We are committed to collectively, lovingly, and courageously working vigorously for freedom and justice for Black people, and by extension, all people. As we forge our path, we intentionally build and nurture a beloved community that is bonded together through a beautiful struggle that is restorative, not depleting. Again, what have the actual results of their movement been? Not what they say they are for. And if this is about all people, why is your movement called Black Lives Matter? If it's about other people, then make your movement about everybody and about the actual issues such as police violence or the family or whatever, transgender people or whatever. Don't just make it about Black people. It's divisive and alienating other people. I thought maybe this was going to be about people being arrested for drug-related crimes, but I was disappointed. Diversity. Oh, diversity. We are committed to acknowledging and respecting and celebrating differences and commonalities. Really now? Well, please come into my comment section and defend me and my diversity of thought from all the other Black people that are going to rail against me and call me nasty words. Or was it really just about skin color? Because I can't tell. What's more important? The color of somebody's skin or the thoughts that are actually going on inside their head? Empathy. We are committed to practicing empathy. We engage comrades with the intent to learn about and connect with their contexts. Okay, you use the word comrades in there, so is it just for the people who are on your side? If not, then please engage with me and understand where I am coming from. Queer affirming. We are committed to fostering a queer affirming network. When we gather, we do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking, or rather, the belief that all in the world are heterosexual unless he or she or they disclose otherwise. I think I kind of like where this is going. The first thing I want to say is, why is your movement called Black Lives Matter if these are the topics that you're focusing on? The second thing is that most people are heterosexual. That is how the species reproduces. For the most part, even though there are other examples in nature, there's a sexual dimorphism of species, and there's a male and the female, and that is the norm, and you wouldn't know otherwise unless someone tells you. I think I might have missed a couple of their points, but if people want to care about Black lives, then that has to come from Black people caring about themselves and nothing to do with the other society. And the biggest thing impacting them is the family unit. That is the biggest thing, not police and not what other people are doing. And that involves working on yourself. If people want to support this movement, I do think that that is their right. They can go ahead, but I don't think they should force other people to do it through overt force or through coercive force, such as through the government. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Have a good day. Comment, subscribe, share, and like. Goodbye. This is gonna take so long to edit. I guess I'm gonna cut that out. Women affirming. A Desi-Rae, it's an A. I think I forgot something. God, do you have to be that loud? Really? Do you really have to be that loud? You don't have to be that loud. I'm sure that there are some nice people who are involved in their movement, but I don't like their movement. Probably never will. I don't even like the title.